World Cashew Convention. I'm Shruti from CashewInfo.com. With me, Deepak, Kacher, Chief Executive from Vink Corporation and Executive Director of AMR, Australia, Asia, Africa, Middle East regions. How your business, what business your company into, and the main focus of your company?
I just wanted to mention that TGI Group is currently operating in all the 5 continents of the world, either directly or through their associates.
Yes.
And we have the businesses in Shanghai and Thailand, and we have our manufacturing facilities in India. We have a few offices in the Middle East under the name of Vink in the free zone. And we also have multiple operations all over Africa, and we have an associate in America. So that covers in terms of, we have several divisions covering various cross sections of activities in different parts of the world. And we have a food division, snack food division, poultry division, trawling division. We have also divisions covering cotton, we have ginneries, we have oil crushing plants, we have pharmaceutical manufacturing, we have fertilizer imports, we have rice imports, and we have exports of agri commodities like cocoa, cashew, sesame, etc. from the African region. And we also have a lot of our own in-house brands, and we have an exhaustive operation almost nearing 250 managers and about 10,000 people on ground in Africa, thereby creating a very sustainable model over a very diversified portfolio.
What is the business model of your company?
Well, in terms of approach, we try to align ourselves with the needs of the country. We try and find out what are the key items that the country wishes to manufacture or procure or produce locally. And for instance, in Nigeria, the government is keen to encourage agriculture, so we would like to go into cultivation where possible. Then they want to encourage exports, so we would like to export, whether it is sesame or other products. Then they would like to bridge the gap between the local production and the country's consumption, for instance rice. So if they need to import 2 million tons of rice and we are willing to put a paddy plant, then they can give us some incentive and we can even import to bridge the gap. So we can become importers. So import, export and manufacturing. We are predominantly a backward integrated manufacturing company, fully. Sometimes wherever possible, we want to be fully integrated end-to-end solution. And we align with the needs of the country, and they in turn have various forms of incentives like EEG within Nigeria, ETLS within ECOWAS. In East Africa, you have a concessional income tax in the free zones and so on. So these are the basic advantages that you get in return for aligning yourself with what the government wants to encourage. So they want to subsidize you, they want to, so that you can become internationally competitive. So this is the whole objective of the government, because sometimes the costs in Africa, because of the infrastructure improvements necessary, can be a little bit higher than the developed world.
How is the government supporting your business?
In our case, it varies from country to country. For instance, what we export in Nigeria, you can get export grant 0 to 10% on commodities export. You can get 10 to 20% on semi-finished exports. You can get 20 to 30% on finished products export for full value additions. Whereas in the case of importation of rice, for instance, where they want us to bring it, if you also have plant or intentions to put up a plant, which we have, then they will also give you a concessional rate of duty. You will pay 30% as against others who will have to pay a levy of 40 additional. So you can get a 40% saving, thereby making you very competitive. And this will be then within few people, and then you can become competitive for supplying of large commodity like rice within the Nigerian market.
What is the future prospects of your company?
Well, since we are very highly diversified and we have multiple divisions, we are somewhat insulated from fluctuations in the global and the local markets. Because even if one division is somewhat affected because of various economic and social factors, others division will continue to support it. So it is very rarely that entire business across all diversified divisions will get affected at the same time, and or the seasonality factor. So we have around the year situation. Plus, the group has a very positive mindset. It has a very serious desire to invest and grow in the world with focus on Africa to start with. So I think we are somewhat insulated, one. Two, I think we have reasonably good management bandwidth. That is a great help. So when you have quality people, it's a great help in growing the business in a very sound manner. Also, when you have a very good product, we believe in very good products. If you take our yogurts, for instance, we are one of the few people who have a liquid yogurt which is drinking in a Tetra Pak, which has a shelf life of 6 months. It is delicious. It is one of the best in the world, and it comes from a lot of R&D. So the group has done a lot of R&D and a lot of sophistication in its practices and thinking ahead of times, thereby making it more sustainable and competitive even in the global market. So we also have a fully automated warehouse, which is unmanned. Technically, you punch the order and the pallets can come onto the bay straight. So there are a lot of futuristic thinking. There's a lot of mind which has gone from Mr. Vink himself, the promoter of the business, and his team members like Rahul Savara and others. So I feel that they have done a lot of clear thinking. We also have a lot of real estate which is appreciating over a period of time. We've also participating in real estate now, which can also then help and grow. It helps to reduce our costs. Then the next thing is economies of scale. We have huge economies of scale over our divisions, and in each country when we get economies of scale, our costs come down. So we become competitive as compared to others who want to operate in the same market, because we are in manufacturing in the country, we are in export and import. So this is a great help. And then of course we have a lot of social corporate responsibility division. Our focus is food. The world is growing and the population is growing. So if you give affordable food to people, consistent quality at a reasonable price, and it's good value for money, then that model is sustainable. Plus the group has a very gentle and a very sober and a very fair thinking. So we feel that everybody in the chain, right from the supplier of the raw material or the farmer in the field, should right up to the consumer, everybody in the chain should have a fair share of the value chain.
Obviously.
So this kind of policy is sustainable. Also, we have a very good approach towards the business itself, in terms of trying to make sure that we do a fair treatment in terms of maintaining our quality. So all efforts are done in that direction, and then through economies of scale we bring down the cost, and then we share the benefits with all stakeholders in the chain. So this is continuous improvement is taking place in the product. We have a huge R&D activity for our in-house manufactured products, and we have created brands. So these brands which we are creating now are quality. So you have a quality raw material, you have a quality packaging, you have a economic shipping, and you have a huge economies of scale for selling and collecting the funds. So this is then I think we also supported by good stakeholders like good banks. We are able to get reasonable funding. If you add all this and you have a good promoter with a vision, you have good people who are running the business, you have good products that can stand the test of time, and you have a good process in terms of economies of scale and competitive, then I think you can deliver the performance over a much longer period of time. So these are what I call the 5 Ps of my life.
This is how your business model and your organization works, and the government support.
So
everything.
and you're right. So and then you have business model is what can you process, produce, procure in a country, what can you import, what can you export, and can we do it cost effectively and be a leader over a period of time. So that's the business model basically, and our mission is to remain modest, simple, and competitive, and we want to bring a smile on the face of the people, and our purpose in life is happiness.
What's your feedback on this convention? How it is organized?
I think this is the 3rd convention I am attending. I attended 2013 in Ghana. I attended the 2014 in Vietnam, and I am attending this in Dubai, and I live in Dubai now. The ambience is very good to start with. Atlantis offers a very good ambience. It's a very nice hotel. Of course, even the other hotels in Ghana and Accra and in Vietnam were very nice. The setting was on the beach. I think a lot of effort has been made by the organizers to keep it simple, brief, and to the point. And the first day is common, where everybody shares the ideas. And I think the 2 things about Cashew that I like is, one is that it is everybody in this conference wants to increase the volume of cashew in the world through a message that it is a good product to eat, it is a good value for money, it is a healthy product. And I think on that concept and thought base, they want to increase the cultivation and the crop size from its present level of around 2.5 million. And more important is that when you process cashew, almost the entire cashew grown in the world is consumed. So it gets processed in some form. The processing gives a lot of employment because automation in this business is still very limited. So what happens is that you've got to understand that it is a very good satisfaction that you create employment. And we are now in all facets of this business. We not only trade in raw nuts, but we also have our own plant coming up in Africa. One of the most modern state-of-the-art facilities. And I'm very happy that we'll be adding about 1,000 employees through cashew related business every year in Africa. So this is a very matter of great joy. It's something that we are enjoying. So we are not only creating a good business model which we hope will be sustainable and profitable and everybody will benefit, but we are also doing some social service in the form of creating employment in the African continent, about which I am very passionate. From TGI group of companies, I wish cashew business a greater success, and we hope that we can become a significant player in this business and help in all ways. And I'm also glad to mention that this particular time we are also slowly, we have become a sponsor. We want to support the cause of this movement, and we want to hope and pray and help in every way that cashew business grows in the world. All of us grow together.
Yes, sir, we are very pleased to have your support like this only. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.